Hi, I'm Seamless, and this is another tech tip brought to you by Sonic Academy. So this is actually something that I learned like yesterday. Whatever day today is, I learned it yesterday. So there's this concept of markers and stuff that you can have up top here, which right now we have none, so there's not really anything we can do. But the one that I'm used to doing is you come up here, you go to time markers, add one, and you use place song loop. And what this thing does is that it determines where the song loops to when it's over. Which is kind of cool. And if you have it after the song, it determines where the song ends. And I'll just stop. Now, what is this weird offset I've got going on here, and what is this going on? Now, this is a sort of a little mock-up of how I normally work on tracks. This track is a finished track, and I've cleaned it up to make it look presentable and whatever, but what usually happens is that when I'm making a track, I have kind of a spot off to the side somewhere where I have one of the things that I'm working on. I just have things in the round that when I'm building them. I am told this is kind of how the session mode and arrange mode works in Ableton. I don't really know, but what this is this is just generally how it works, because there is only just one playlist view. The thing is, though, is it's not really necessarily true, because if you go in here and you add marker, I'm going to call it song start. Naming it is one thing, but then once you right click on it, you can actually indicate for it to be the song start, and this actually changes where the grid begins, where the numbers begin. And you can actually see up here the time is counting the negative now. And if I hit stop twice, it brings to this beginning. And I've actually now functionally separated the work part, the sort of the creation, individual sound creation part of the playlist and the actual song part of the playlist. So that it actually thinks this is an entirely separate thing. This might as well be two playlists. And what's even cooler, see the normal stop behavior in FL is that you have play, and then when you stop, it goes back to where you put the thing. But then if you stop twice, it goes back to the beginning. But here the beginning is defined by us. We have changed it to be something that we have made, which is nice. And this even carries over to when you render it. When you render it and you save it as what you want, and then you actually render it, normally what I would have to do is actually select the time that I think the track is supposed to be and render that. But now without doing that, without doing any kind of alterations whatsoever, it knows that this is the song. It doesn't render this. This is nothing. It doesn't recognize this. It renders just this. And this is a tremendous workflow enhancement because, man, like, I've been doing it the way where I just kind of have stuff off to the side and I have to time to make sure it doesn't go over and like all that kind of thing. That's just been how I've done in FL forever, which I guess is fine, really. It's still kind of the same thing. It's just that it does those sort of housekeeping things for you, and you're not really forced to do anything. So this is something that's actually very important that I think everyone should know about. If anything, that you at least knew that this is how you get markers up here and that the song loop thing is up here too. Because if this wasn't here, generally what would happen is that it would actually render the song until the very end right here, and then it would stop. Which is usually, you might be thinking, well, it's fine, except that sounds usually have a hail attached to it. Maybe you have a reverb thing or a big ambient ending or whatever that goes past when the thing actually ends. And then you want to be able to determine when that is. So that's a lot of goodness right there for how that works out. So that was very important. If you have any questions about this, let me know. And as usual, have a nice day.